Hello YouTube, it's Sly from Gamer Cosplay. Sorry about the echo. I'm in my bathroom because this is the best lighting that I have at the moment. So today's video is going to be kind of more of a serious video. Because I'm totally trying to be serious right now. Today I'm going to be talking about bullying and being visually impaired or handicapped. Anything can affect that. I'm going to be talking about my experiences as a young child and in high school and stuff like that, being bullied because I do have visual impairment. It is obvious that I'm visually impaired because of my eyes and the way they move and everything like that, and I didn't really get bullied as a kid for looking different that much. It was just more of what I was, really. Just the stigma of being handicapped, pretty much. And I figured that I would do this video as Deku because in the series, Deku is bullied at the beginning. And I kind of relate to that. That's kind of why I really relate to this character and also relate to the series as a whole anyway, because I know being quirkless isn't exactly a handicap, even though it kind of could be considered that in that universe. But I really could relate to Deku because he was different than everyone else was. You know, how he was growing up and everything, and he was made fun of for it. So that's kind of like why I decided to dress up as him for this video. And I did make another video about how I got ready in my makeup and wig and shirt and all that stuff. Like I said in my other video, I didn't do a full face of makeup, like eyeliner and mascara and whatever, because or freckles, obviously, because I can't really see enough to do those things by myself, and I am home by myself at the moment, so I'm kind of limited to what I can do right now for myself as far as makeup goes. So anyway, I'll get started. I was actually lucky enough to be in a school district. Well, I wasn't actually in the school district, but there were options for me to be in a school district that had resources for the visually impaired and blind. And I was lucky enough to be able to go to a school where they had a teacher there who could teach me things that I needed to know for visually impaired and could help me get me the things that I needed accessibility wise. So in that case, that was really fortunate to have that. And so from kindergarten all the way through high school, I had a fully dedicated class to where I could get resources. I could go there and ask for things to be made bigger for me. I could ask, I learned Braille that way. And I just had like really great teachers that helped and supported me throughout this thing, because when I was younger, they didn't know if I was going to go completely blind, because I wasn't exactly stable as a child as far as my vision goes. So they wanted to teach me how to use a cane, like, a blind cane. They wanted to teach me Braille. They wanted to do all that kind of stuff, just in case I did go blind, which fortunately I didn't. So yay, and I'm pretty stable, and I'm in my early 30s right now, so I am very confident in the fact that I am going to be stable for the time being, because I have been since maybe 5 or 6 years old. So cataracts are a different story. I have those as well, and those do come back, but they're easy to take care of, thank goodness. Let's just go through, different school years and stuff like that. So let's start with kindergarten. Kindergarten, I don't remember too much of kindergarten, but I don't remember being made fun of or, anything like that, because I think at that age, you're not really in that kind of mindset. Like, kids aren't really in that mindset to be making fun of other kids, at 3, 4 years old. So I was pretty well, I don't remember if I had friends. I probably had a couple friends. I was always kind of a loner in school just because of my anxieties about my visual impairment as I got older, obviously. But yeah, there wasn't really too much in kindergarten. Elementary school, though, is where it all kind of began. I don't remember really what grade it was. I believe it was around 3rd or 4th grade. But there were these two boys that didn't like me. And I don't know why they didn't like me. I honestly don't know if it was because of my visual impairment or something else, but they really didn't like me. And it got to the point where I had to go to the counselor for this. And I don't know if my parents ever knew about this. I'm sure they did, because I did have to go to a guidance counselor, so I'm sure they called them or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, I remember this one incident clearly in my head, and it was honestly, it was very terrifying, because in that, like, during that age, you know, okay, I'll just get into the story. So, there was a specific classroom that I would have to go to if I needed something enlarged, or if I needed assistance or something for my visual impairment. So I would have to walk from my classroom that I was in at the time to my accessibility classroom, or VI classroom is what they called it, VI, visually impaired. And these two boys who didn't like me, one time when I left to go to that classroom, I don't know why they were out of the classroom. Maybe they asked to go to the bathroom or something. I don't know. But I remember they would make fun of me, and they would just be mean to me. And sorry, I'm itching my leg. It really itches. Okay, so both of them came running toward me, like, not even like to get my attention or anything. It felt like I got, even as like an 8 or 9-year-old, I got this feeling like these two boys are going to hurt me if they catch up to me. And I don't know why I thought that, but that's just my instinct. That's what my instinct told me. So I bolted into the girls' bathroom. I am not sure why they didn't go into the bathroom, because they seemed like the type of people who didn't care about that. But they didn't, and I hid in there. For a long time, I hid in there until I was sure that they were gone. And like, this memory stands out clear in my mind. And I don't know what they would have done if they caught up to me. I don't know if they were gonna, like, planning on beating me up, or I don't know what they were planning on doing. All I know is that I felt unsafe in that moment. I felt like I had to get away from them. And I talked to the guidance counselor after that, because I was very, very scared of these two boys. And the worst part of it was they were both in my class, so I had to be with them in the class all day long and stuff like that. So I was extremely scared of them. So I went to the guidance counselor, and the guidance counselor basically talked to them. I guess. I don't know what happened, but I mean, I remember later we did become friends, or at least they weren't being mean to me anymore. So I guess something happened that made them stop, because they weren't, they stopped being mean to me, and we actually like played together in the playground or whatever at some point. I think it was like the next year or something. Maybe they just grew out of it. I don't know. But yeah, that specific one stands out a lot in my mind. Another one, this was also in, I think, 3rd or 4th grade, and this one had to do with girls. And I didn't, like I said before, I didn't have many friends. So when I did make friends, it was like a big deal for me, and I really liked making new friends, and I liked playing with other kids my age and stuff like that. So there were these two girls that I was friends with, and then there was these other 3 girls that were friends with them, but they didn't like me. And I don't know why, because I was never mean. I was like, I was so quiet and timid, and like I didn't bother anybody. I wasn't mean. I wasn't anything. And apparently they came up, like the three girls who didn't like me came up with this plan to try and make me drink dog pee. This was according to my other two friends who they had told, you know, that they were going to do this thing. So basically what they were going to do is have like a soda can, fill it up with pee, and I don't know if it was dog pee or human pee or whatever, but it was just pee, and they were trying to give it to, like they had it with them, like they came up to me on the playground like during recess and was like, oh, we have a soda for you, drink it. And I didn't want to because they didn't like me, and I kind of had a feeling that I shouldn't do this, so I didn't want to. And they were like, oh, no, you should totally drink it, like we're giving it to you, don't you like want it? It's a soda. And I don't know why I didn't notice it was pee. I don't think I like went up to sniff it or anything. I didn't even take the can from them. I just was like, no thanks. And then I just like went off or something, went on my way. And later on, my two friends who were friends with the three girls who didn't like me told me what they were doing. I never told the teacher that, or anyone for that matter, about that one. And I don't know, that one didn't traumatize me as much, but it still sticks in my head as a memory of a thing that happened that was bullying. Well, that's pretty much all that happened in elementary school that was really bullying or anything like that. You know, I would get people that are like, why do you have to like have things bigger? Because when I was in school, I was in school in the 90s, so we had to Xerox, you know, copy machine, things bigger for me. So I would have papers that would be huge, like you can't even see what I'm doing because they were that big. And honestly, it would be embarrassing for me because I would have these huge papers that was like this huge font on them, and everyone else had their, you know, 8.5 by 11 papers that were normal. And same with, you know, books and stuff. I would have books that were like huge compared to everyone else's because mine was large print. And people would be like, why do you need it like that? Like, why can't you read normal or whatever? You know what I mean? And I don't think they meant it mean, but it was just, you know, little kids don't understand, so they just ask. I also had a machine called a CCTV, and that was a machine where you have this screen with a tray on the bottom, and you put your paper under it, and it magnifies it for you on the screen. Those things were amazing for me. I loved them. I loved having them in the classroom because I could read normal print along with everyone else. I didn't have to have huge papers, but the only problem was this machine was gigantic, and it made like this really high-pitched whirring noise. So like every time I used it in a classroom, it would be obvious that I was using it. It was just kind of a distraction for some of the students, and it's just like, it was obvious that I was different, and I would have to be like up off in this corner of the room because this thing was so big. And I mean, that's not really bullying, but that's like just a thing, like obviously I'm different because I have to sit over here away from the rest of the classroom with this gigantic machine that I have to use to see my books, you know what I mean? That was kind of it for elementary school though. Like, majority of my elementary school was pretty good because I had a lot of other kids that were visually impaired as well that I could relate to and hang out with and stuff like that, because we had a whole department for the visually impaired in my school district, which was amazing, like I said. So in middle school, it was just, you know, the normal bullying for middle school students, stuff like that. I don't think I really got bullied as much as I was just kind of isolated, which I don't consider bullying too much, but it's just still kind of, it doesn't help your self-esteem at all. And I'm kind of putting this in the same category because since I was different, since I had a visual impairment, since I went to the special class all the time and everything, people just didn't really approach me as much as, you know, people were like making friends left and right, hanging out, doing stuff, whatever, and I was just alone with my other fellow visually impaired people, which is fine, but it would have been nice to have some friends who had normal sight. Not that I'm saying the friends that I did have were not appreciated, because obviously they were, but just the fact that people didn't bother to get to know me was just kind of, it was just a bit discouraging for me, especially in middle school where you're at that age where self-esteem is really, really important, and it kind of shapes the way you are for the rest of your life, I think, honestly. So then in high school, it was kind of like the same thing. Just being alone, kind of. I had a boyfriend then in high school. He was blind. And I usually just spent most of my time with him, to be honest. Yeah, in high school, I didn't have many friends either. But then in high school, I started getting that kind of anxiety thing where I felt uncomfortable talking to people because of my visual impairment. And I felt like people would judge me based on the way I looked, because of my eyes and because of the way my eyes shake and the way that this eye, which is a prosthetic, doesn't move with this eye because of how it's made and all that stuff. So I think people just didn't want to get to know me because they didn't understand me, like how my condition was or anything like that. I think in high school people just don't want to offend people, so they just kind of stay away from you, if you get what I mean. Luckily though, I was on the dance team for 2 years in high school, and I am really glad I did that because I think I opened some eyes to those girls who were with me in that dance class, because I kept up with them despite my visual impairment. I did all of the dances. I was on the competition team in my second year. I pretty much could do everything that they could do, and they were pretty impressed with that. And I made some good friends, not long-lasting friends, but at least friends in high school from that experience, which I am so glad I did that, because I think it helped at least the people that were in the dance team understand me a little better, and that I am a normal person. I just can't see things. And I mean, I'm kind of weird because I like anime, and I am awkward and have anxiety about a lot of things, but I am a normal person, and my vision doesn't affect my brain. It doesn't affect how I think. It doesn't affect how I learn things or anything like that. So I think that helped some of them understand that. But in my adult life, I haven't been bullied at all because I don't think adults really want to be that person. You know what I mean? At least to your face. People will bully me a lot on the internet, obviously. And I mean, even on the internet, I haven't really gotten bullied for my visual impairment. People are just kind of like, oh, that's cool, you can do this cosplay stuff, and you're, you know, partially blind. That's awesome. That's kind of my main goal of cosplaying. Well, obviously because I love it, but then also because I want to be able to inspire other cosplayers who don't think that they can do this, and who are visually impaired or blind or handicapped in any kind of way, because no matter what, you can do it if you want to, because it's fun and it's not even a big deal. Like, who cares if it's not perfect? My cosplay right now is not perfect at all. Like, I don't know, it's just like this whole perfection thing about cosplay and stuff is just dumb, because at the end of the day we're all the same, kind of. We just want to be nerds and have fun in our cosplay and stuff like that. So I guess what I want people to take away from this video is, if you're in high school or middle school and you know you're disabled, visually impaired, anything where you're getting bullied, you don't even have to be disabled. Even if you're getting bullied for no reason, just be the person that you want to be. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's hard to not care. Sorry, my camera turned off for no reason. I'm back now, and if things are different looking, I'm sorry about that, but that's why. Do what makes you happy. Don't care about anyone else, because in the long run, it's you that you want to make happy. And as long as you have someone, you know, to talk to, it's better than nothing, right? And if you don't have anybody, talk to me. I mean, okay, that was kind of a joke, but I'm serious. Like, if you're watching this and you have no one to talk to, feel free to contact me, you know what I mean? Like, even if you're not visually impaired or whatever, you don't think I could relate to you, I still went through bullying and being ignored and not being given the time of day when I was younger, and even now, you know what I mean? So, I mean, if you're feeling a similar way and you don't have anyone to talk to, I fully invite you guys to come and talk to me. I will leave Instagram, all that stuff down below. If you guys want to PM me or whatever, feel free to do so, because I am always available for anyone, you know, who needs someone to talk to. And my other friends can attest to this. I am very good at venting at and giving some positivity to situations. Also, if you feel like you're seeing someone getting bullied, be that person to step in and make sure that that person is okay. You know what I mean? It is going to make such a difference to that person who is getting bullied. If you just stand by and watch it happen, it's like you're bullying them too, pretty much. Even if you don't feel that way, even if you're just like, oh, I feel so bad for you, this sucks, but then just move on. I don't know, like, why wouldn't you take the time to just PM them, talk to them? If it's in person, go up to them, make sure they're okay, you know what I mean? Like, just be like, hey, I saw what just happened, are you okay? You know, I'm here to talk if you need anything, my name is blah, blah, blah. If you don't know them, you know what I mean? Introduce yourself. And maybe you guys, like, both of you can make a new friend, you know what I mean? And it's always good to have more friends in your life, more true good friends. And, you know, it's just, it will make that person's day, I guarantee you, if you ask them if they're all right and ask them if they need to talk. It makes a huge difference, because it's happened to me. And I know that when someone has come to me and been like, that was shitty, are you okay? That is another thing that I really hope people can start doing more, you know what I mean? It's just helping each other out, you know what I mean? We need more of that in this day and age. That's kind of my video, and sorry if it was kind of long, but I thought this was a really important thing to talk about, and I really wanted to talk about it. So yeah, I think that's it for today's video. If you guys would please give this a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel. I would really love to get some new subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you who are subscribed already and have been subscribed to me for a really long time. I've kind of evolved throughout the years. So if you've stuck with me, thank you. And if you are new, then welcome. And I hope you enjoy my videos. And more will be coming soon, so please stay tuned for that. And so that's all I have for you guys today. I will see you guys in my next video. Have a great day, and remember to stay positive. Bye.